So last night, well, not last night, but well, yeah. This last week, I've been listening to Thriller, Off the Wall, Michael Jackson. You know that. And we've had previous conversations on the show before of like, what could be hip hop's Thriller? What is the closest
Hmm.
album we have to that? Because we don't think that there could truly be a hip hop thriller because of what Thriller did and everything it has on it, right? But what is the closest that has gotten to it? Some people have said GNX. We've said maybe on occasion, maybe Views. I had this drunk thought last night because me and my girl, we was barbecuing. I was on the grill, and she randomly played DJ X off of Spotify, and it played Kanye's "Good Morning." And I thought to myself, I'm like, could this be the closest album in hip hop that we have to Thriller? B, I want to hear your thoughts first before I give some points,
Um,
or we could have the conversation back and forth.
we could, but my thoughts is when I'm really just thinking about Thriller and what that album means to the world is crossover. It's successful. It's actually a great album. It
Hmm.
sold like 70 million. Like it's like I was thinking, bro, if you want to say hip hop equivalent, so I have to bring in the crossover appeal, the sales. To me, graduation wouldn't do that.
Okay, so I see what you mean. Here's my stipulation. We know that what genre would you consider Thriller if it wasn't as popular?
It'd be a R&B soul in that
You think so?
category. Yeah, majority.
So when we look at Thriller, we obviously know that it's a pop album.
Yeah.
So it's gonna reach a wider uh demographic, a
Yeah.
wider array of people. We gotta scale that down to a degree because we're saying, can there be an album in hip hop that does something like Thriller?
Then I'm saying if I scaled it down, you know who I thought of?
Who?
Marshall Mathers LP. It's strictly hip hop. It's not no Daft Punk samples. It's hip hop. It sold over like 20 million. It has hits that we know from generations. It sold like crazy and it had the crossover appeal. That was the that was one of the closest, strictly hip hop. Like so
Uh, okay. So I'm looking both of them up right now, right? So some of my points I made for graduation, and mind me, people, I was drunk or I had a few drinks. When it comes to Thriller and graduation, I gotta tie some things in together. Different sound slash production compared to the previous albums that came before it. When Michael Jackson came out with Off the Wall, he thought that it was his best work, and he felt like people
mhm.
wasn't putting enough respect on it. So he came in with a totally different sound. This is when disco was being thrown out. This is when he went for a different sound. Because when we think about something like Beat It with that guitar performance in it, Michael Jackson's actual performance on the songs, no song really sounding the same with each other. Like The Lady in My Life doesn't sound anything like Billie Jean. When we look at it obviously with Thriller, it meshed different sounds versus it being a cohesive body of work, like a Off the Wall, or in Kanye's case, like a Late Registration. When we look at, like I said, Thriller, different sounds, different styles of production within the instrumentals. When we look at Graduation, Kanye started using more synths. He started playing with different sounds, especially with songs with the guitar performance and My Big Brother. When we look at songs like Stronger with the Daft Punk sound, the electronic pop techno sound, the style and sound of what Graduation was definitely a departure from the previous two of the College Dropout, Late Registration.
But it was to me, college graduation ain't as super far fetched from late registration to me. If you want to go for an influential album, I say 808s and Heartbreaks. That'd be. I feel like Kanye has equivalents to Thriller, but it's broke in sections of albums to me, in my opinion. Because look, think about it. This conversation's been happening, so I had to Google this. This conversation been happening for years. So I looked up
Mhm.
somebody that made. He said, "What defines a hip hop equivalent to Thriller?" A significant body of work that is widely recognized as a great album, an album that revolutionized the entire industry, an album with multiple era defining hits, an album that is still heavily relevant. I mean, heavily relevant today. And when I think of stuff like that, I'm like, Kanye has parts of that in each of his album. If My
Mhm.
Beautiful Talk Twisted Fancy has some big hits on it as well. The sound is not too crazy from it. It's Kanye, but it's like it's different. The artistry is different, and the album's still relevant. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I just it's Graduation just wasn't that for me. 808s and Heartbreaks changed an era with the
Mhm.
sound. To me, Graduation didn't do that. Graduation
Mhm.
has the hits.
Mhm.
It has a good. It has a strongest, probably the most successful uh single off that album, probably of Kanye. Period. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
But look, B,
Mhm.
Graduation to me, not that album. If we gonna go for an album for hip hop, because look, me also, I'm thinking hip hop, right? If I want to think
Mhm.
about hip hop, I gotta put it in hip hop terms. An album that I'm gonna say Illmatic by Nas. Don't have the huge sales, but it has the crossover because this is hip hop. This changed the game.
Mhm.
It's still relevant to this day.
Mhm.
It changed the era.
Mhm.
It revolutionized the whole industry because it
Mhm.
changed. If you and in the hip hop equivalent, hip hop, we don't care about the numbers.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? If we talking hip hop, stuff like that is our thriller for hip hop. Graduation, if you want to go with the numbers and stuff,
But see, I wouldn't
because
do
if you say hip,
Illmatic because Illmatic was like a blueprint for a lot of people. Like that was Nas's first album. That's like me calling like,
but no, but if
you
you
get what
say
I'm
a
saying?
blueprint is something that defines an era, that's something that somebody's building on.
Mm-hmm.
Graduation didn't do that. Like 808s and Heartbreaks did that
Mm-hmm.
way more because so many people built off trying to do the singing song and all that stuff with what Kanye was doing with the 808s and Heartbreak stuff. And
Mm-hmm.
he immersed sounds even further than he did on Graduation. Graduation was
Mm-hmm.
just like he was trying to get a little out of it, but he really kind of 808s, he kind of took it there. He started doing more. So nah, Graduation, I could see why people say it, but if you want to go, nah, bro. Not to me. I understand how people they say Graduation. I get it. I have no problem with it. But
Mm-hmm.
if you put when you put hip hop in something, I think about what this did to hip hop.
Mm-hmm.
Like what it do for hip hop. And if I do that, I might have to go to older albums, bro.
So I have more points. Because one
Hmm.
thing was a cultural shift. With
Hmm.
Michael Jackson, Thriller, cultural shift. Before then, as he said, they wasn't putting black people on top of magazines. With
Hmm.
Thriller, it's like you could not talk about Michael Jackson.
Hmm.
Kanye, with him doing the sales battle against 50, he ended that era of gangster rap being like the most dominant like subgenre of hip hop at that time, where it was like, okay, Kanye changed the game where it's like you don't got to be a gangster rapper or you ain't got to rap about gangster things necessarily to have to be like that be the most dominant thing in hip hop at that point.
That's not true. You act
Why
like
you
you ain't
say
got
that?
Outkast, and they did way more successful than Kanye. Kanye don't have an
But
album that's more successful
but
than
we got to
theirs.
remember though, 50 Cent came after Outkast.
Yeah. But
We
you
had 50
saying
Cent,
if no
DMX.
50 Cent came afterward, but you saying that gangster rap was a dominant, how it was a dominant when you have Outkast that was before them, how it became dominant.
With 50 Cent? 50 Cent, The Game, who else was Lil Wayne? Gangster rappers.
That
Don't look
wasn't
at like
gangster.
like gangsters and like, oh, I'm the toughest guy, but they rapping about gangster things. We gotta remember, we gotta simplify it. We gotta simplify the term gangster at this point.
I just don't agree
Like
with
that was
that.
all gangster rap.
I don't agree with that. We had Nelly, we had Ludacris, we had all these other rappers out around that time
Young
that was
Jeezy,
successful.
Ti, gangster rap.
Yeah, but that's like '06. But I'm saying that wasn't dominating everything. Like they songs, you gotta think about it. Look, the songs that we was listening to as kids, we wasn't really like looking at it as gangster rap because it was commercial. 50 Cent
Hmm.
biggest song is In the Club. You can find
Hmm.
me in the club, pocket
Uh-huh.
full of buzz,
Full
mommy. I got what you need. Like
of-
none of that stuff was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go shoot them up. Yeah, you gotta go listen to the album.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? But like they had to be commercial and have a song that's accessible to everybody to cross over to be that who
Okay,
they
so what
are.
about the actual gangster rapper? Like the guy that was
Like you
like,
talking
oh,
about
I'm from the hood. Like
the new
the
you talking
aesthetic,
about
I guess.
the aesthetic
Not the
of a
aesthetic,
hip hop
but
artist. Hip hop is always filled with the misogynistic. Oh, you got to be this tough guy. Look, that's
mhm.
what you talk about the archetype, the look of someone, the hip hop look.
Dang, it sounds racist, but yes.
Because the sound to me, no. Kanye with the look, yeah, Kanye been did that. Even when it came to
Mhm.
late registration, he been had the
But
polos.
this was the one time when that won against gangster rap though. That marked the change.
No, Outkast was already selling more than them niggas, man.
Wait. Return of the G and all that beat? Come on. They
We
was
talked
rapping about
about
some tough things though.
Return of the Gangsta. Bro, come on, B.
Like
B, look,
Kanye
look,
never
look.
returned.
B,
Like
you
Kanye
talking
never rapped
about B,
about
you
being
talking
tough or
about
anything like
album
that.
cuts.
Uh huh.
We're talking about mainstream appeal. You can't
Uh huh.
name me a mainstream hip hop gangster rapper, super gangster that sold so much music without having songs like Lollipop. Like, come on, bro. Like, you gotta have commercial. These niggas not
Uh huh.
gangster rappers, bro. Like, let's be real. We being real. They're
Uh huh.
not. But I understand you talk about the archetype of how someone looks. Yes, Kanye did that, but he didn't change it. People act like Kanye changed so much when it was people he built on.
Of
He
course.
built part of that. He
Uh
didn't
huh.
change that to me. Nah.
All right.
Mm-mm.
Next point. Uh, Let me see. Obviously Grammy award winning. Obviously many hits. Incorporates different sounds and very relatable subject matter with each song. Each song felt a
Mhm.
bit aspirational. Each song felt like you could put yourself in those shoes rather than just, oh, this is a personal tale about Kanye
But
specifically.
I think Graduation was intentionally to be like his album where he wanted to be more commercial. His like
Yeah,
he wanted to
that
have,
plus he wanted
yeah,
to perform it in stadiums. He wanted to be
yeah.
louder, grander. He wanted to
Hmm.
have a different sound compared to his previous albums. So you really don't think that Graduation? I don't
If I
know,
think
B. I'm
I
I'm thinking about songs like Can't Tell Me Nothing, Flashing Lights, Good Life, Stronger.
be
E?
them hit songs, I'm saying I understand people saying Graduation, but when you say you get me when you say hip hop equivalent to that. Because at that point, you're making me
So,
think hip hop
but
success,
but my thing is
successful
this.
albums, and I'm
I said
saying
this
it's
is the
other.
but I've always said that this is the closest that we could get to a hip hop
No,
thriller.
I don't see. I don't. Why I say it's not because you actually can't even put nothing against it. So when I say that, I'm gonna go who has the highest numbers. I'm
Hmm.
gonna say who has still has those hits, but not like, and also a great body of work. I say
Hmm.
Marshall Mathers LP. It
One,
probably
two, three, four, five, six.
it's and look how much it sold. It sold way more. The
Do you
crossover
feel
appeal
like
was crazy.
sonically it was dynamic from each other, this each song?
Sonically, nah.
I haven't listened to Marshall Mathers LP since I was in middle school. So
Sonically, nah. It's kind of in the same vein, but it's a classic album. It sold
yes.
so much, way more than freaking graduation.
Okay, calm down, calm down. But
But I'm
okay.
saying you talking about hip hop equivalent, and I'm trying to explain to you like what how important Thriller is. Have you looked up like the importance of Thriller? You're talking like Sonics and stuff, but I'm saying what happened to you're talking about the musicality. But
Hmm.
you got sometimes people don't even think that deep into the musicality of the album. They talk
Hmm.
about the success of this album, how much Thriller mean to people
Mm.
as well. It's good. And I'm saying I'm thinking of the success of Thriller. Thriller is
I'm encompassing all over. I'm
yeah,
doing all over.
you could do all that too. And then I'm saying when you do all over like that, B, it's no album that's touching it hip hop wise. That's why it's
That's
hard to
why I
do
said
it.
it's not one to one.
I know.
Closest.
That's why
That's what
and
I'm
then I'm
saying.
saying
Closest. B, think about it like this. This is Thriller. This is the closest that any hip hop album's getting to it.
I know,
That's
but
what
look,
you know what I'm
but
saying,
look,
B?
if but I'm trying to say if you want to go, okay, what's the closest? When you hear about Thriller, mostly everybody heard that album. You know what I'm saying? And when you hear about Marshall Mathers LP, hip hop head or not, it touched more fans. More people probably heard that than the Kanye West Graduation, even though it's a big album. Don't get me wrong, but
Hmm.
I'm just saying we go like Lauryn Hill, even though that was hip hop R&B mixed, that's also a bigger album. That's mad hits on it. Just changed Grammy awards, all that. It's higher than Graduation as well, if you think about it.
Hmm.
That's what I'm saying.
See,
This album changed music from the
mhm.
music videos alone, B. Like, come on, man. This nigga had a world premiere. So it's hard to do a hip hop equivalent to it. And if I do, I'm thinking numbers and I'm thinking success. And Kanye West, the album sold what, like 6 million? It's not even his highest selling album. And I hate talking about sales, but I'm trying to,
But
but I'm saying,
we had to put that
I
in here.
know.
So yeah.
That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. That's why I had to bring graduation down. If graduation sold like 20 million, I say it's the closest, but it didn't.
Mm. See, I guess I'm looking from it from like
Because the
little
crossover
tiny
appeal wasn't as
aspects.
big as what a white rapper that can actually rap and put a really good album together like Eminem did.
I guess I'm looking at it from stuff like, oh, like Kanye's album is 13 songs long. At that time, he was putting like 20 tracks on each album.
Yeah.
Kanye
Thriller
had a
was what,
shorter album.
nine or seven tracks? Nine tracks?
The girl is my. Let me see.
I think
When
it
we
was nine
started off,
tracks.
baby be mine. The girl is mine. Thriller, beat it. Billie Jean, PYT. Yeah, it's about 8 or 9.
Yeah. Let me look it up real
Uh,
quick.
yeah, but I don't know. That's how I feel. Like I'm
It's
like,
nine
okay,
tracks.
oh, ooh, okay. But yeah, that's how I feel because we had the song Drunken Hot Girls, which is a skip. We
Trash.
got The Girl Is Mine with Paul McCartney on Thriller, which is a skip.
It's a skip, but it's way better than Drunken High Girls. Like it's a
Well, we
good
not comparing
song.
it one to one, B, but I'm saying like, the little coincidences.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
We got songs that like a Flashing Lights versus a Everything I Am. We got song like The Lady in My Life and a Thriller on the same album. Very sonically distinctive and different from each other. Good Life even samples PYT on there.
It's no,
Stronger,
it's
which is like a techno electronic
B
hip hop infused
B.
sound.
It's no equivalent to it. It just sucks. Like we could
Well,
try to
no,
have
I
this
don't think
conversation.
it's a one to one. I'm never gonna say there's a
Yeah,
one to one. Never,
I don't think
never
we
one to
we
one.
haven't even touched it yet. We haven't have an album in hip hop that hit 30 million sold. Like just the album. Like we're not even touching it. That's why
Okay.
when you say hip hop, I bring it in hip hop terms. We don't care about the numbers. We're gonna talk about what this album did for hip hop. Then
Mhm.
I'm gonna break it down to like Illmatic or something.
Okay, so B, say we take every hit off of every Kanye album, and let's say he made that on one album. Would that be the equivalent to Thriller for you?
Yeah,
Each
like
would
that's
be
what I'm saying.
sonically different.
It's like a Illmatic. Illmatic
See,
not
you keep bringing
sonically
the
different,
Illmatic in there.
but look,
No.
every song is a hip hop classic song. Every song means something to hip hop. Different producers. This album changed it. So I'm saying if we make it hip hop equivalent, like a hip
Uh-huh.
hop, but if you talk about sales and stuff, I'm gonna have to take Kanye out of there. I'm gonna have to go to a bigger artist with more sales that also
Please don't
put
say
out a
it.
great
Please don't
album.
say it. Please don't say it. Please don't say
I
it.
said it already. Eminem, Marshall Mathers. I'm just saying.
No, I'm gonna hear him. I'm
Did you
gonna
ever
hear
did you
him.
ever look it up though? You ever look up you would have you thought about that album? Did you think about that album?
Nah, because that's like an album like because I'm also thinking about culturally as well. Like B, I'm gonna be real with
Thriller's
you.
not a
Growing
black
up,
album.
who?
It's an everybody album. Thriller.
No, I know, but
Yeah.
also what it did for the culture too. Like that,
Mm.
like it stemmed so many like, oh yeah, well, I get it, you could say that about Eminem too, but for me, I'm like,
No,
all right,
that was
these are
that
cultural
thriller,
staples in black
but
people's
it's go
household as well.
it's a world. That's what I'm trying to tell you how big Thriller is. This album
No, no,
sold over 70 million.
I get how big Thriller is. Thriller is
Black
the
people,
biggest best-selling album of all time.
that's what I'm saying. Black people are probably not even what's the percentage of that? We probably a part of that, bro, with nothing. Like it's
Look, let
like
me add to that right now. Let me add to that. Let me buy that.
I
I
had
gotta
I
get the
had
numbers up.
I had the OG version of Thriller, bro, from 82. I had that joint. I had it.
I hate you. You had everything in your collection at one point.
Yeah. But bro, nah, bro. I'm sorry, B. This
Don't
album's a
worry,
10
guys.
out of 10, bro.
Oh,
B, it's
okay.
no B, it's only one Rolling Stone and back in the 80s, they gave it a 5 star. No, yeah, 4 stars. They had to redo that joint. Five.
Look, they say we effed up. Hey, look, the person that rated it at first, they went to his office. Hey, come into our office today. As soon as he
B.
clocked in, and look, his access was denied. What
Boy couldn't get
happened?
boy key card didn't work.
Yeah, in fact, they said, come step in the office real quick. Go ahead and hand us your badge.
Yeah. And I got you, bro. I understand. But graduation, bro, it got to a point where like that album, like, come on, bro. It's at the bottom end of, but if not counting the new Kanye stuff, but you talk about Kanye on his streak, graduation is like at the bottom.
Oh, me,
It
no.
is to me. It's a good album.
No.
It's a good album, E. It's a good album.
P,
You
why
pick
would
it.
you
You
say
pick.
that?
So what is graduation better than late registration? Is it better than college dropout?
B, it's my favorite. It's
Mm-mm.
my favorite, B.
Nah, it ain't better than those.
I'm just
Mm-mm.
thinking from the optics, B, from the look, B.
Nah, bro.
Let
I understand though. I'm sorry
this guy's
to
this
hurt your dreams, bro. But
this
this is
guy
how
is
I feel.
racist. This guy is
Yeah,
racist.
I'm
That's all I'll
not.
say. Gotta avoid the YouTube algorithm. This guy is racist. He just doesn't want to
I'm
see a black
not.
man win, especially in the space that Kanye's in. He just has a vendetta against Kanye, guys. I tried. I tried. Hey B, come on. They don't have Eminem. Don't have a meme. He made Marshall Mathers LP. No, we have a. But he made Graduation. We have that meme. B. Come
Bro,
on.
M got Marshall Mathers and he got Slim Shady. Them some
Yeah, but we
top
don't. But
albums.
B, when we come out with whack albums, we don't say. But he made Marshall Mathers LP. We don't. B,
Nah,
when
we
Kanye
don't.
does something crazy, but he made Graduation.
That's because people won't let it go, man. Kanye is now he's gone, bro. Kanye's
Hey,
gone.
they won't let it go because it's a cultural staple. Is that what you're saying? Haha. Thank you, B. I
Here,
appreciate that.
here you go. They both are culture staples, bro. Kanye contributed a lot.
Yeah, I don't want to say that about Eminem because I am biased against Eminem. So yeah, that's that.
You're
But y'all let us
racist.
know if y'all think correct. Y'all let us know if y'all think what could be hip hop's closest album to Thriller. Let us know in the comment section down below.
Man, shout out to Beyond Beats and Culture.